Many people would be familiar with the terms fight and flight response. These terms describe the behaviours that result from the body's stress response. In addition to fight and flight, there is also freeze and fawn. These reactions can also happen in life-threatening situations. In this episode, we will take a closer look at the stress response and its relevance to PTSD. The stress response is the body's way of responding to threats or dangers, whether real or perceived, in the environment. The best way to understand these processes is to think of them in terms of a feedback loop that interacts and communicates with each other. The hypothalamus plays a major role in the stress response. Upon detecting a threat, it initiates the pituitary gland, and together they stimulate the adrenal glands to release the stress hormones. The adrenal glands are located in your kidneys and release the hormones adrenaline and cortisol. Adrenaline is the hormone that is directly responsible for the physiological changes we see in the stress response, as well as things we typically associate with fear, stress, and anxiety. The effect of adrenaline includes an increased heart rate, increased respiratory rate, sweating, and nausea. Adrenaline's primary role is to prepare the body for evasive or protective action. That is, of course, the flight, to escape from the threat, or to fight the danger. Cortisol is the stress hormone in the body. Although helpful in normal concentrations, high or prolonged cortisol can be damaging to many organs in the body. The sustained activation of the stress response directly results in the hypervigilance symptoms seen in post-traumatic stress. High or sustained cortisol can kill or damage the cells of the hippocampus, a part of the brain associated with learning and memory formation. The link between post-traumatic stress and cognitive impairment is less recognised, but has a significant impact on the person's planning, concentration, and memory. Because the fight and flight response gets stuck on overdrive, and because sustained stress hormones are harmful to the body, post-traumatic stress has been linked to many other physical complications. Some of these include cardiovascular health, hypertension, cognitive impairment, gastrointestinal pathology, and disorders of the musculoskeletal system.
I was diagnosed with PTSD about 14 years ago. That was the first time I'd ever heard of PTSD. I was sent off to have a whole pilot test done. Not only that, I also have got IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, suffer from ulcers and hypertension, and anxiety levels go through the roof, and it's all part and parcel of what's involved. I've actually been that way since I came back from Vietnam, which was it's 45 years ago.
Post-traumatic stress is not confined to the mind. It is not even confined to the brain. It has an effect on many body systems, which has a global and debilitating impact. Post-traumatic stress has a multitude of secondary, physical and mental complications that impact on a person's quality of life and life expectancy.